Don't let the skis in the back fool you, because this is Crankworx SilverStar 2026. We're kicking things off at the top of the women's roster. This is Lisa Marie Blanc coming in for her first run of 2. Opting for a huge tuck no hander to start things off into that signature whale tail, getting the X up out of it. Tons of speed now into the step up. Lofty backflip. So good, dude. The stream couldn't even keep up with her on that one. Now athletes in this part of the course have some time to chill out, gain some composure before the next section begins. Lisa off the signature flat drop now, opting just to hold it nice and tight, land high up for a ton of speed into this Red Bull moon booter, tweaking out another backflip there. You can see the tail of her bike slightly tweaked out to the side, adding some style points on that one. Sneaking another tuck no hander into the surgeon's table, gapping down high up again on that landing. Coming into the final feature on course here, Lisa. Oh, dude, massive backflip to finish things off, earning her a 74.75. Again, athletes get 2 runs to show the judges their best riding. Whatever is the highest score of the 2 is the one that sticks. Back up at the top, we got Michelle Neuner, no stranger to the sport of Slopestyle MTB, but actually has a big background in BMX. Took home 2nd place at the Swiss Champs just last summer. Coming in tons of speed into the whale tail feature, opting for the tire grab. Gotta sacrifice a ton of skin on your palm to make that happen. Going for the toboggan out of it, ripping the saddle of that bike. Huge lawn darted out backflip on the step up feature. Not even coming close, casing the rear wheel on that knuckle. Now into the signature flat drop. Like Lisa, opting just to hold it. Get lots of speed into the Red Bull moon booter now. Quick tuck no hander, maybe wanting something a little bit more. You can see she came up slightly short on that jump. X up into the surgeon's table on the way out. Again, holding it so she has enough speed to carry through this berm and into the final feature to get a full T to B. Boom! Those backflips look so good. 65.5 for Michelle Neuner on run 1. Again, coming in slightly under Lisa Marie Blanc, but still has another run to improve that score. Next to drop, we got Zoe Witwicky, debatably one of the most enjoyable and fun last names to say on the entire women's slopestyle Crankworx circuit. Coming off a fresh 3rd position at Crankworx Whistler just a few weeks back. Seeing another tuck no hander into the whale tail. I think opting also for a left-handed tire grab there. The FPV pilot is just framing it too good here. Next lady, dude, everybody's chucking backflips on the step-up feature. The progression of riding at this year's Crankworx SilverStar event is astounding. First one to stunt the flat drop, we saw another tap of the tire there. Big old tire tap coming from Zoe Witwicky, holding out the suicide no-hander for an eternity on that Red Bull moon booter. Another tire grab, again, trying to stunt every feature here. Opting to hold the speed out of the surgeon's table, coming off that berm into the final hit. Zoe Witwicky getting a bar spin to finish off her first run. 7-0, dude, 70 points. That was incredible. Alma Vigberg almost needs no introduction. One of the most decorated athletes in the entire sport, coming off a fresh win at Red Bull District Ride just last month. Into that first hit now. First one to flip it. Not only backflip in, getting the tuck no hander as well. Another double combo on the way out. Suicide no hander to a late bar spin. Going for another combo on the step up. You can see her shaking her head. She went for the backflip, 1-footed can on that step up jump. She can't even believe it herself that her 4 limbs are capable of such gnar. Oh my goodness gracious. Stunting the signature flat drop. You saw that little toboggan. Oh my goodness gracious. She's on one. She is completely on one here. Bar spin up. Again, this is a huge drop. Going for a suicide no-hander. Letting go nearly of all 4 limbs on the way down. Oh my goodness. Look at the extension on the no-footed can. Alma Vigberg. Unbelievable T to B. Not only stunning every single feature, but throwing in combos on nearly every feature. Earning herself an 84. That was delicious. And there you go, man. That's the end of run 1 for the women. Looking at the podium right now, we got Alma Vigberg, Lisa Marie Blanc, and Zoe Witwicky. But again, all athletes are given 2 runs. Your best score is the one that sticks. Moving over to the men's heat, we got LJ Parra kicking things off for us. He's from California. He's 17 years young. I mean, what were you doing at 17, man? I was still learning how to count my ABCs, not tossing backflip tuck no-handers into one of the biggest whale tail features this sport has ever seen. He did case it slightly on that introduction, didn't have too much speed, so I think he had to improvise on the bar spin out and maybe wanted a little bit more than just a 3x up on that step up. But again, this is a 2-run format, so I'm sure he'll be able to clean it up in that second run. Still going for it though, getting the truck driver off that flat drop into the moon boot. Textbook, dude, absolutely textbook. Cork 7 on the moon booter. Coming up, opposite direction truck driver. Backflip down, tons of speed, cranking off that berm into the final hit. LJ Para coming in. Lofty, that's as good as it gets. Beautifully done front flip, 52.25. Again, there was some bobbles, there was that case at the start of his run, but he still managed to pull through the top to bottom and get a score on the board. Next to drop, we got Alex Sparman. Not only is he competing at his first ever gold event, he also made it to the finals of his first ever gold event at just 19 years young, coming in tons of speed into that signature whale tail. Oh, it looks like he was going for an inward table to bar spin on that 360. 360 double tail whip, barely catching the pedals. Huge triple combo, opposite 720 on the step up. Debatably more difficult to hold it on axis instead of just going for that cork. Makes it much more difficult to wrap around that 2 full rotations. Into the flat drop, nose bonk, 360 inward table, beautiful combo into the Red Bull moon boot. Another combo, dude, this man is an inward cane. Surgery now, opting for the 360, Oppo 360 tuck no hander, wrapping it around his natural direction on the flat drop into the final hit. This is a huge run. Oh, no, definitely not what he wanted on the last money booter, but still hit a really cool axis on that 360. Excited to see what he throws on run 2. Back up at the top, this is Arne Snyders, actually making his first ever Crankworx appearance out here in SilverStar 2026. Eyeing up this first feature. Debuting a backflip triple bar spin to kick things off. Front flip tuck no hander on the way out. An absolutely atrocious combo. 360 tail whip to X up. Yikes. Yeah, I would need a bit of a breather after something like that as well. So difficult just for me alone sitting here to keep up with the tornadoes that all 4 limbs of his are creating here. Wow. Signature flat drop, 360 bar spin to X up. Big kahuna coming in. 360 tail whip to bar spin, so patient on the set. Absolute pleasure to watch. Coming in opposite direction, 360 X up, tail whip on the way down, catching the pedals perfectly, getting enough speed for the final hit here. Front flip to finish things off. Wow. A 61.25. And that was an absolutely nutty run. Next to drop, we got Jarno Anert, who was apparently coming off a nasty fever just a couple of days prior to this event taking place, which is a beautiful reminder that these are actual human beings you are watching. They are not robots, which is hard to believe when you witness a backflip triple bar spin like that into the whale tail. Unfortunately, overshooting. That landing in the whale tail is so small that if you don't land perfectly and precise, you won't be able to have enough speed to chuck what you want out of that step down. So that's already going to be a throwaway for Jarno, unfortunately, given today's level of riding. More or less going to treat this as a practice run now, which is nuts to say considering that was one of the biggest double backflips, if not the only double backflip we've seen so far. Tail whip up. Flat drop flip on the way down, cruising through the berm. Again, we'll be able to see him on run 2 here. But coming up for another, or the only double truck that we saw out of that run. Again, ridiculous to call that a practice run. Cruising in for his first run, Lennox Zimmerman, another young gun, 19 years of age, out from Germany. Attacking nearly everything on this end run here. Holy cow, he is boost! Huge cork 720 into the whale tail, backflip, bar spin, one-footed can, triple combo on the way out. Coming up into that step up now, we got the 360 tail whip, a little bit short. You can see slightly cased the rear end of his bike on that step up. But my goodness gracious, that signature whale tail in and out. Goodness gracious, that was a bundle of joy. Seeing the truck driver off the flat drop. Trying to crank in for the dub backflip, sending it deep, way past the sweet spot there too. Oh, nice truck driver on the way up. Backflip on the way down. Again, trying just to set a solid run in here to have a base to improve upon. Going in for the front flip 1 foot again. I don't understand how you take your foot off your pedal, go over the top tube while you're blind on a front flip. Good enough for a 71.25. That is an incredible score going into run 2. Next to drop, we got Leon Hildahl. At just barely 16 years of age, he is by far one of the youngest competitors to compete at this level of slopestyle mountain biking. Coming in on a mission, double bar spin in that first backflip landing, super deep, still has enough speed to clear the step down with another dome dip there. Going for the 3 whip, slightly over rotating. Almost could have pulled that to 540. Would have been sick if he landed fake, he rode away. But that was a beautiful introduction from Leon. We'll see him come back in run 2. Friedger Schoenberger coming in for his first lap on the Crankworx SilverStar Slopestyle course, brought to you by Signature. Another rider out from Germany, eyeing up this first feature set. Oh my goodness gracious. Taking off like an Apollo 11 rocket on that backflip into the Cork 7 off the step down. First rider to make that happen. Right into the Oppo 720. That's like cutting your wedding cake with your opposite hand, dude. That's not a risk you'd be willing to take. Oh, what a cranked in run. That was beautiful. Off into that signature flat drop. Going for the truck driver, a little bit off to the right, connecting into the berm, now into the moon boot. Backflip tuck no-hander, squeaking in that late bar spin, triple combo. Operating table, truck driver up. Tail whip down. Dude, that is so terrifying. Managed to catch his pedals into the last and final feature set. Front flip tuck no-hander. Had that front wheel right by his timpium, getting him a 59.5. That's crazy. 59.5. This is Damian Ander, no stranger to Crankworx here at SilverStar. We actually saw him at the Summer Series event out here back in 2025, coming in for his first lap. Double backflip, setting it so deep into that whale tail feature. We saw the bar spin out because, again, I think he landed nearly flat, which is insane. He was able to cook up enough speed and get it out. Wrapping up a Cork 720 on the step up now. That is one of the gnarliest stunts we've seen so far into that first introduction feature. 360X up off the signature flat drop. Oh, look at that. Backflip, bar spin to tail whip. Dude, on an absolute mission here. Going for the opposite 3. Oh, that was so dirty. Flat drop flip, but dipped it out. Kind of made it flat spin-esque. Really rowdy axis. Really rowdy axis on the cash roll. I'm sorry, we haven't been doing many replays because I want to just get all the action covered, but that is like, look how close his head gets to the table here. Watch this. That is so sick. Oh, and then follow it up. We got to do a replay on the cash roll here. Look at the axis he hits. It's kind of like a front flip while doing 2 full spins. Even tweak the bars out. So rowdy. 73.75 from Damien. Back up at the top for Aiden Siebenaller, a BC local, a Canadian local out here at SilverStar. We saw him at this event as well last year in 2025. Coming for that first backflip double bar spin off into the step down now. Going for the double backflip out. First rider to do it. Not a ton of airtime on that feature to make a double happen, but he's wrapping it around with no questions asked. Getting that 360 tail whip then on the step up feature. This is a type of run that's going to make your vocal cords tremble. Okay, 360 downside whip. First athlete to make that happen on the signature flat drop. Going for the backflip bar spin to tail whip. Barely staying on course. Operating table time. Beautiful 360 X up. Flat drop now. Huge flip. So effortless. Made it look so easy. Off into the final feature. Aiden Siebenaller 360 doubles down. Double downside tail whip. I'm not even riding yet. There's not enough air in my lungs to call, just to say the stunts these athletes are doing. Aiden snagging an 82.25 on his first run. Swedish rider Lucas Skjold making his first entrance into the course here. No stranger to the Crankworx circuit, and definitely no stranger to injury and comeback stories. Just 2 years ago, this man was out with a broken C7 vertebrae, and now he's back out here doing backflip tail whips into tails that are bigger than a blue whale. Not to mention the triple truck driver he got off the step down into a cash roll on the step up. First athlete to make that particular stunt happen on that feature. Out on this year's slopestyle course, brought to you by Signature, of course. Into the flat drop now. Big pop to get that tail whip around, catching the pedals nice and early, pumping up into the Red Bull moon booter. Oh, wanted something a little bit more. Set the backflip was maybe looking for a tail whip on it, going for the opposite direction 360. Regular direction 360 on the way out. He knows this is just going to be a throwaway run, so he's going to play it nice and safe. And again, it's hilarious that we call that safe nowadays. Backflip inward table to bar spin, just steezing it out on the last one. Coming back in for round 2, hopefully cleaning up his line. Caden Ingersoll, an absolute resilient machine. This man's coming off of not only a knee surgery, but also 2 compression fractures in the last year or so. A testament to this man's strength. Going for the 360 tail whip, the bar spin, slightly slipping the pedals. Managed to recover enough to go for the slip and slide on the way out. Again, it's a 2-run format, but definitely a shame to see him bail on that first feature. Now on course, Jaden Chipman, another one competing in his backyard. This is a Canadian local. He's competed in both diamond and obviously gold level events, coming in with tons of speed here. All the lads are just boosting, landing flat on the backflip, bar spin to tuck no hander, double truck driver on the way out, off into the step up now. 360 bar spin to downside whip. These are the combos that you should adore. Oh, and they were executed perfectly. Jaden coming into the signature flat drop now. A lot of people opting for that tail whip off the drop into the big kahuna backflip. Bar spin to maybe T-bog. Not sure if that was the combo he was looking for. Yeah, he might. Yeah, he's going to call it quits on that one. It's hard to gauge the size of that drop on camera, but it is huge. And if you don't have the right speed, you're not in the right flow zone, once you're bucking yourself off of it, don't do it. Don't do it. Ben Thompson out of Squamish, BC, coming in for his first attempt. Definitely no stranger to the Crankworx circuit. Another athlete who's just coming back from Red Bull District Ride into that first feature set. Front flip, tuck no hander. Look how close that front wheel was to the top of his head. Going for the 360 double downside tail whip out of the whale tail there. Opposite 360 tail whip. Again, wedding cake, opposite hand cut. You ain't doing it. That's the type of run you're going to be putting in your pension fund and cashing out for years to come. That was beautiful. Truck driver on the signature flat drop off into the next boot. Oh my goodness. He's wrapping downside double whips when most people would opt for a single. Backflip bar spin. Ben Thompson is on one. Front flip off the flat drop. You got to be insane to pull that one off. Coming into the last hit here. Ben Thompson, 360 windshield wiper. What a run. 82 and a quarter. Bro, good thing I'm not a judge. I would have given that 1,000. Rocking the denim. This is Jack Fike. Signature athlete, 19 years young. Out from Canada as well. Always fun to watch the local talent out here at SilverStar eyeing up that first jump. Oh, 360 double downside tail. Call that whatever you want. That was gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Tucked up front flip. He tucked the bike up so tight. Again, it's one thing to pull off these difficult stunts, but to do them with class and style is a whole nother feat. Jack Fike coming into the next section of the course here. Opposite truck driver. He's mirroring his rotations in both directions. It looks so perfect any which way he throws them. Unbelievable. Wrapping around the berm now into the surgeon's table. Coming up. Opposite 360 N-word table. On the way out, going to toss his bars around on the backflip. Jack Fike coming into the final hit here. Oppo 360 tail whip. That run had the most amount of opposite rotating tricks we've seen out of any athlete. That's something that sits incredibly well with the judges, earning him so far as 77.25. Next up, one of the best to ever do it, Eric Fedko, doing it for Germany. No stranger to the Crankworx circuit. We've seen him multiple times at SilverStar here as well. An absolute pleasure to watch. Double backflip, huge onto the whale tail. Getting the 360 Indian Air seat grab on the way out. Tons of speed for the step up now. Beautifully executed, bro. Like 360 bar spin to late tail whip. Looks like he beaded some sweat off his skin, but it doesn't even look like he's breaking a single ounce of sweat. The way he's chucking these tricks around effortlessly. Flat drop, backflip into the Red Bull moon boot. 360 downside whip to Indian Air seat grab. I'm sorry to break up the action, but that is ridiculous. AI question mark? Like, come on, man. Unbelievable. Opposite 360 up into the operating table. Regular direction, truck driver to X up. Going to be an incredible top to bottom here from Eric Fedko off into the last hit. Backflip, bar spin to tail whip to make it an 84 1/4. Getting muscle spasms in my back somehow from just spouting off on these stunts. That was crazy. Back up at the start gate for Dane Fulp, another athlete repping 19 years of age. Again, so many young guns out here, but one of the very few athletes from Australia coming in here for that first big jump. Backflip, bar spin to tail whip, landing so deep, barely getting enough speed to clear that step down, but still managed to squeak in a double bar spin. Front flip, took his hands off for the tuck no-hander, skeet scatting that tail, extra style points, getting his bearings back for that signature flat drop that's yet to come. Oh, double truck, sneaking in 2 bar spins in that 360. Taking off, double backflip, one-footed can. Only one to make that happen, especially on that feature. Opposite rotating 360 up like Fedko did previously. Backflip tuck no-hander. This is an incredible run from Dane Fulp. 360 double tail whip to finish things off. Next to drop, Lucas Hupert. We've seen this man all over the globe on the Crankworx circuit. Doing it for Switzerland, coming into the first kicker now. Look at the amplitude, the patience, man. Backflip bar right into the double tail whip. Catching the pedals nice and high up, off into the step up now. Oppo dub tail whip. Very few people tossing Oppo tail whips, let alone dub Oppo tail whips. Pulling it around effortlessly. Into the flat drop now, going for a 360 tail whip. So nutty to pull on a feature like that. Into the moon boot to get the twister, a full 1080 degree rotation. Only one we've seen thus far in the contest. 360 downside whip up into the operating table. There's the truck driver out. Lucas Hupert is on one. Off into that final jump now. Front flip bar spin. I thought he was going to over rotate it, but I was deceived because he pulled it around like a textbook. 79.75. And there you have it. There are the standings, the current standings as of run 1 for the men. Ben Thompson, Eric Fedko, and Aiden Siebenaller for the podium right now, but that could all change in run 2. That was some of the most impeccable riding my eyes, my retinas have ever conceived. Yet we didn't even see a single score in the 90s, which that's astounding. But again, each athlete has a chance to clean up their line in run 2. But for now, we're back to the women for their second lap. Kicking things off, we got Michelle Neuner, again, currently in 4th position, so definitely looking to improve upon that run 1 score so she can get herself and her bike on that podium. Eyeing up the kicker. Yeah, there's the tire grab. Again, risking all the skin on her palm for it. Holding it for a good chunk of time, grabbing the toboggan on the exit. Opted for the 360 this time. I think that was the first 3 that we've seen so far from the women. Really well done. Could have gone a little bit deeper, but still really done and dialed rotation on that step-up feature. Holding it, going deep on the flat drop. Tons of speed now for the next kahuna. Huge tuck no-hander. Cleared the jump perfectly. Right in the sweet spot around the berm now. Nice X-up. Yeah, Michelle landing nice and tall again off the surgeon's table around the berm for the final hit. Trying to improve upon that run 1 score. Huge backflip to finish things off. That was a dialed run. 71.75, improving her first run score for sure. Next to drop, Zoe Witwicki needs a 72 or better to get back on the podium, to get back into that 3rd position. Look at the speed here. Yeah, enormous extension on the tuck no-hander. Amplitude massive. Going for the tire grab on the exit over to the berm. Yeah, rebaiting that backflip. Sweet spot landing. Not a case in sight. Judges are going to love that one. Off into that signature flat drop now. Tire grab on the way down. Trying to add a stunt again in every feature here. Beautiful Sui to X up. Improving upon that one. Run 1, we only saw the suicide no-hander. This one adding an X up into the mix, tweaking out the tail for the style points on the way up. Going for a huge top to bottom, finishing things off. Zoe Witwicki, unfortunately not able to execute what I think she wanted to go for on the last jump. Unfortunately, if she was able to throw in just, I don't know, I'm not a judge, but any sort of stun on that one, it's likely she could have improved upon her past score. Back up, Lisa Marie Blanc, currently in second position here at Crankworx SilverStar, brought to you by Signature. She's going to have to do better than an 84 if she wants to take down Elma Wigberg, who's currently in that first place position. Tuck no hander, off into the X-up, holding it for a good chunk of time. Love to see it. Oh yeah, Lisa, big old dome dip on the step up. Very minor case, but still wicked amplitude on that backflip. Again, going to be very difficult to dethrone Elma in that current leading position. She was throwing some incredible combos. Here's the space rocket launcher, tweaking out that backflip again. The amount of amplitude you get on that feature is no joke. Sneaking in the tuck no-hander. Off the table for the last hit here. Lisa Marie Blanc coming in for another T to B. Opting just to style one out for the fans. Not able to improve upon her score, but still keeping herself in that second place position. And that's going to be it then, man. Elma Wigberg is your 2026 Crankworx SilverStar Gold medalist, coming down for a celebratory win and lap here. See if she just styles one out for the fans in the backyard. Still chucking herself sideways. Look at that backflip tuck no-hander. Landing super deep on that one. Whipping the bike around. Yeah, big old Suey. Just going to have a nice cruiser lap. The level of progression, man, has been such a privilege and pleasure to watch. The combos this lady was chucking on this course was astounding. Definitely getting the adrenal glands pumped on this one. Backflip bar spin, taking off 1 foot because a backflip bar is too easy for her, allegedly. Tweaking up onto the table, tweaking down, coming in for the last jump here at her Crankworx SilverStar appearance. This is your gold medalist. Big tuck no-hander to finish things off. Boom! 84 points takes the win. You got Lisa Marie Blanc in that second position. Michelle taking third, and Zoe Witwicki in fourth. Incredible riding. Kicking the second run off for the men, we got Caden Ingersoll. Again, he was unfortunately unable to get the link up on that whale tail feature in run 1. Hopefully improves upon it here come run 2. 360 tail whip on the intro, catches it perfectly this time. There we go, backflip, double bar spin, he's on. Off into the step up, big front flip. Beautiful sweet spot connection. Again, such a man of resiliency and so fun to watch. Also crazy on a big bike. There we go. 360, bar spin to X up, off into the Red Bull moon boot. Dial, dude. Cork 720, one of the best to do it. Opposite 360 inward table. Going for the flat drop flip L. Also a little dip flat spin on it. Off into the final feature to get a full top to bottom lap. This is a 360 double downside tail whip to finish things off. A 75.25, unfortunately, not enough to get him on the podium, but still a really solid lap for Caden Ingersoll. Next in the queue, Leon Hildahl, unfortunately wasn't able to get a full top to bottom in run number 1. He did over-rotate the step up, so hopefully come run number 2, we watch him clean it up here. Opting again for the backflip double bar spin. Still managing to whip around. Wow, a cork 720 out of the step down. Off into that step-up feature, going for the 360 double tail whip. Was going for absolutely all or nothing there. Already improving upon run 1, but unfortunately, again, having some issues with that step-up feature. Still an incredible performance from the young gun. Jaden Chipman currently in 16th position with 37 points. Wasn't able to complete a top to bottom in run number 1. He's got to do better than an 82.25 if he wants to get himself on the podium. The air time, dude. Backflip, bar spin to tuck no-hander. Double truck driver out, even though he landed super deep on the whale. There we go. 360 bar spin to downside whip. Wicked combo. So technical. So complex. It's actually astounding. I have no idea how any of this is possible. Going off, getting the nice tail whip off the signature flat drop. Come on, boosted rocket launch here. Backflip, bar spin to tail whip. Such a crazy axis around the berm. Taking surgery to a whole new level with a double tail whip. Come on now. Truck driver out. Jaden Chipman going on the clock with a crazy top to bottom on the last hit here. Going for the cash roll. What a nutty run. 72.83. A huge improvement over run 1, but unfortunately won't land him on the podium. Jarno Inert coming in for his second lap, currently sitting with 46 points. So definitely looking to improve upon that score. There was a bit of a bobble out of the whale tail on his first lap. So we'll see what he does here. Rebaiting the backflip triple bar spin, huge. Pulling some next level sorcery on the exit, super clean relative to run 1. Adding in the tuck no-hander onto the front flip off the step up. One of the biggest amplitudes, biggest amount of air we've seen off that feature thus far. How do you whip it around? That is a category 5 hurricane with the handlebars there. Coming in, double backflip, sending it near the bottom of that kicker. Jarno definitely improving upon run 1. Tail whip up into the operating table. Flat drop flip. Can he connect it to the end here? Oh, single truck driver. Definitely wanted a little bit more. Still improving upon the 46. Unfortunate he couldn't link what he wanted to on the last feature. LJ Parra coming in hungry for run number 2. Currently sitting with 52.25 points. Oh, man, I wouldn't be surprised if he dislocated both shoulders on that backflip tuck no-hander. Getting the front flip out on the exit, off into the step up, opting for the opposite. Cork 720 wrapped so well, so patient on the set. Into the flat drop, going to the regular direction. Truck driver, tons of speed here. Boosting, regular direction, Cork 720, both way spun corks. And his run so far, a little extra travel on it, unfortunately. Getting that flat drop flip out of the surgeon's table into the last hit here. What has he got? Front flip bar spin. Definitely going to be an improvement. Yeah, 73.59, but not what he was looking for, unfortunately. Still some exceptional riding. Back up to the start gate for Swedish rider Lucas Skjold. He's got to do better than an 86.25 if he wants to dethrone Ben Thompson, who's currently in that first place position. Oh, flip whip right as the sun is setting in the background. It's got to be one of the wonders of the world there. Beautifully executed double truck driver on the way out. Kashi, again, doing 2 full rotations on a forward off-axis rotation. So difficult to pull off, especially with a little less airtime on that step-up feature. Signature flat drop, hitting the tail whip on the way down, catching pedals effortlessly. Taking off into orbit there. There's the flip, bar to whip, triple combo around the berm. Yeah, there's the opposite 360. Definitely going to look like an improvement here. Truck driver on the way down. Can he hold it together for the last hit? Lucas Skjold. Oh, no. Oh. Going for the double bar spin on the backflip after tweaking in that inward table. Nearly had it. Yeah, it's not going to be an improvement, but that was an incredible run. Frieger Schoenberger on course for his second lap now. I think in the unofficial awards I would give to these athletes, this man would earn the award for the biggest backflip that I've seen into this whale tail thus far. Run 1, it was astounding. And run 2, he's doing it again, but adding in a Superman seat grab right into an Oppo Cork 7. That was so flipped out. Back to back into the regular Cork 7. Could you ask for, dude, Picasso couldn't even ask for more. So properly thrown. Little bit short on the step down, but still managed to pull it off. No questions asked. Going for the truck driver, regular direction, off into the big old space launcher. Backflip tuck, no-hander to dub bar spin. Holy moly, ravioli, rubber ducky. Oh. Oh. Off into the final hit. Frieger Schoenberger is on one. Front flip tuck, no-hander to bar spin. Okay. He improved upon his score greatly, 73.31, and I know there was a case. But a 70, really? This is why I'm not a judge. Arne Snyder's debuting for run 2. I saw some incredibly complex and technical combinations in run number 1. Needs at least an 82.5 to get himself on the podium. That introduction, every single time. Backflip, triple bar spin, front flip tuck, no-hander. The combos are getting absolutely out of hand here. 360 tail whip to bar, or to X up, sorry. Beautifully executed, taking some time to cool off the hands. Probably has 3rd degree burns after ripping combos like that. Off into the flat drop now. Giving us that truck driver to X up. Landing perfectly. More than enough speed for the 360 double tail whip, wrapping around the rotation in the last second. 360 X up in the opposite direction. Flipping all the way out, tail whipping, not flipping, tail whipping on the way out into the last and final feature here. Front flip, tuck no-hander to bar spin. Giving them a 65.63. The level of riding is insane. An incredible run from our Snyders. Axel Sparman, run 2. Unofficially, my unofficial awards, has my favorite flat drop trick we've seen so far. That nose bonk 360 inward table. Tons of creative combos coming out of this guy, looking to improve upon his run 1 score. Oh, adding in the double tail whip there on the 360 out of the whale tail. Going again for the opposite direction, 720. Again, keeping it on axis. So incredibly difficult to execute. Oh, we see that nose bonk once again. Give it to him. Yeah, give that nostril. Goodness. Nose bonk 360 inward table, rebating it off into the big moon boot, getting that 360 double bar spin to an inward table, barely sneaking in that inward at the end of that rotation. Opposite 360, 360 truck. No, I can't even keep the words going. I'm sorry. Axel Sparman is on one. Regular cork 720 to finish things off. 75.83, a huge improvement upon his 65 he got previously, but unfortunately won't land him in the podium position. Next to drop the German young gun, Lennox Zimmerman, more than capable of shuffling up the podium right now. That is Ben Thompson, Eric Fedko, and Aiden Siebenaller. Coming in aggressive. Oh, yeah, the only one to opt for that. Cork 7 in, landing perfectly. Backflip bar spin to the one-footed can. Fully extending that ACL. There we go. 360 tail whip to bar spin the afterbane. A little bit over-rotated on that 3, but still pulled it around. No questions asked. Gotta love all the denim supporters out there too. Look at this. Truck driver on the way down on that signature flat drop. Coming into the rocket launch. Dub backflip, one-footed can, stalled the rotation to get that foot over the top tube and pulled around that last flip. Truck driver on the up. A little bit more speed for the flat drop flip, landing perfectly, coming into the final hit. Can he hold it together? Front flip, one-footed, no, Lennox, no! No. Oh, that was such a dialed run. Unfortunately, came a little bit under-rotated on the front flip one-footed can. Still an incredible testament of athleticism. That was insane. Damian Ander, run number 2, unofficial award, the nastiest, gnarliest looking flat drop flip to be done out of that surgeon's table. If you remember, it was super corked out. Okay. Double backflip X up to a tuck no-hander out of the whale tail. Oh my goodness gracious, cork 7 on the step up. I'm not sure if you wanted something a little bit more out of the whale tail. I don't even know how you achieve something more after doing a double backflip X up into it. Truck driver on the way down, coming into the next big kahuna. Backflip bar spin to tail whip, slight pedal miss. And unfortunately with today's day and age of riding, that bobble's going to be enough to take him off the podium, but he's still going to rip one around for the fans. Nice flat drop, corked out flip on that flat drop, and getting a bar spin in the mix of that cash roll. That would have been an absolute contender for the podium, and if not first place, or should I say first place if not the podium, if he put everything to his feet. Dane Fulp dropping in for run 2, sitting not far off that podium position. He's currently at a 76.38. Again, Aiden Siebenaller sitting in third place with that 82.25. Dane coming in with that backflip. Bar spin to tail whip, sending a little bit too deep. Yeah, deciding to abort. I hate to see it, but I love seeing some mistakes being made here because it once again shows that these are real human beings. You get complacent to the gnar that you're witnessing when it's just back-to-back, unreal, next level, the best of the best riding this planet has ever seen. But what ended up happening here is Dane just went so big. Landed basically flat, didn't have enough speed for that next stunt. The takeoff was still perfect. The set for the 3-whip was phenomenal, but unfortunately wasn't able to clear it, so he decided to abort ship. Canadian Jack Fike is up next for his second lap, currently in that 5th position with a score of 77 1/4. Oh, What? Thankfully sliding out of that one unharmed, excluding his bike. Definitely tore rim apart on that one, but that's one of the biggest 360 double downside whips I've ever seen. An incredible performance from Jack Fike regardless. Back up to the drop in for Aiden Siebenaler, currently sitting in that third position, but he's only 4 points away from matching the score of current leader Ben Thompson. Run number 2, backflip, double bar spin, double backflip out. Once again, the only individual to be tossing that trick out of that feature. Into the step up now, 360 windshield wiper. Slips a foot out, unfortunately. And sad to say, that will be it for Aiden. Sitting well in that third place, though. Big achievement for him here at SilverStar, Crankworx SilverStar 2026. But he's just going to finish this last lap for himself, for the fans, tease it out, get one more shot riding this wicked course brought to you by Signature. Look at that, lofty backflip. It's almost more enjoyable sometimes just to enjoy the flow. Because when you look at all these complex combos, man, you kind of just like, you get lost in the sauce a little bit. The sauce is so heavy and so deep. And there we have it. Eric Fedko, the only athlete left standing that can dethrone, can take away that gold medal from Ben Thompson right now. And the only individual that's tossing those 360 Indian air combos. Looks like he's more than ready to go for it. Double backflip, tuck no hander, triple truck driver out of the whale tail. That's got to be the most difficult combo on that feature we've seen thus far. 360 bar spin to tail whip. No idea how this man is still standing, let alone riding at this point. Signature flat drop going for the flat flip. Off into the space launcher. 360 tail whip to table. So sick. Not opting for the Indian air combo this time around. Opposite rotating 360 up on the surgeon's table. 360 bar spin to X up. My mind can't even keep up. Eric Fedko coming in for the last hit. Think he wanted the Indian air. Yeah, you can see he was poising his legs to get that Indian air seat grab. Unfortunately, wasn't able to dial it in. But even a huge 360 downside whip mixed in with the rest of his run could improve his score, but I guess not. And there you have it. That leaves Ben Thompson at the top. No change in the podium. Ben Thompson is your winner of Crankworx SilverStar 2026. Eric Fedko takes second place. Aiden Siebenaler takes third. His first ever Crankworx gold medal out here at SilverStar 2026. Been battling for this moment. Cannot imagine how good that feels. Adrenals absolutely pumped. Soren, all he has to do is make it down this course brought to you by Signature and collect his gold medal at the end. Now with that, the Slopestyle Super League field is officially set. After the final qualifying stop at SilverStar here, 7 men and 3 women have punched their tickets to the inaugural SSL finals. On the men's side, it's Ben Thompson, Eric Fedko, Aiden Siebenaler, Lucas Hooper, Jack Fike, Dane Fulp, and Axel Sparman moving on. And for the women, it's Alma Vigberg, Lisa Marie Blanc, and Michelle Neuner heading to the finals. They'll join the riders who were already pre-qualified, including Nikolai Rogakin, David Gazia, Chance Moore, Shilan Reno, and Johanna Nussbaumer. And with everyone at the final starting from zero, it's all going to come down to one final showdown at Crankworx Mont-Sainte-Anne on September 5th.